What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at 3 ways of how you make coins in this game. I thought, you know what, we'll give it a go. There is realistically not much content going on at the minute, so I thought we'll give it a go because we've got Team of the Season coming soon, and it's my mission personally to try and get as many coins as humanly possible to before we get this Team of the Season out. So we've got a few different ways in this video. Obviously, I will put them down below in the description. But first, we have one of the SBCs from today, which is called 2 Flags. It gives you a mega pack. Very simple to do. I've used a lot of my own tradables. All I've gone is 8 of one nationality, and then I've gone 4 of the other, just to make sure that you get that 90 chem. Obviously, if you had a left wing here and a right wing, you could do it again a little bit easier, but it's got some silvers in, which is always good, both all from the Spanish League 2. So we're going to go that, and that's going to be one of the ways. Obviously, it's a very easy way to make coins because predominantly you do get stuff back, and it's a risk. Like, there is always a risk. There is marquee matchups. Again, that is one of the big ones this year, is not necessarily using that as the main income, but making it as a side one. Personally, that SBC roughly untradeable was cost nothing, and we get a board or walkout, no, but what you get in that pack, if it isn't untradeable, I don't think it is untradeable, I could be wrong with EA at the minute, but it gets you all of these cards. For instance, League SBC, perfect, like a 4K card. You've got practically 4 cards there, 5, 6 SBC League players. You can then go ahead and either sell all these or put them up, obviously a K for that. Then you've got some modifiers. Some of them can be worth something, but predominantly I just whack everything down. Obviously, these players here will either be League SBC players for you or can be more profit on there, but that's not what we've come here for. First of all, the first method, and probably the easiest method that you are not going to lose any coins whatsoever with. I have done this method for the past 2-3 weeks, and it's made me a crap load of coins. Is literally as simple as buying a bronze pack. Now, there is multiple things you can do with this. Obviously, a lot of people, if they're opening bronze packs, they're using the League SBC method, which is a part of it. What I do, or what I have been doing, is, for instance, this pack, worthless. So what normally I do is, because I use the mobile to store everything, it's quicker just to store that and then just discard all that. Obviously, no League SBC players there, so I just discard that. That gets you roughly, when you've got all of the bronze players in your club that you don't sell, you roughly get about 100 coins per pack if you just discarded the whole thing. Obviously, with the new Libertadores players in, and a new League SBC, for instance, a perfect one right here, you have got these cards in packs right now, which is funny because these are technically 2 special cards, 2 rare special cards as well. I personally haven't seen that, but if we look now, so we've got 350, 300, say 250 you put him for. So there's 250 on him, and then you've got what? I would roughly put that at about 400, just because you want to be the lowest. 400, 200. So even if you put that for the minimum and put that for 200 or 100 under, you're still making coins. So personally for me, I'm keeping them at the minute. And then, for instance, you look here, nothing there. We've got 50 coins that. So that pack has made what? 4, 6, 650 just off that. We go again. And I have tried this multiple times just to be sure that you always make money. And if you do this over a long period of time, you will always make money, guaranteed. And if you do it a lot, again, we've got 3 players we can sell in this one. Oh, we've discarded one, which we don't need to. So we look at this guy, for instance. There's another 400. So that's paid for this pack entirely. What obviously you need to make sure you're doing is the 100 coins you got from the very first pack with nothing in, that's 300 that you need to make up. So we've already made that up in the next pack. This now becomes profit. So there's a few with him. I would go 250 with him. So that's 250 profit right there. And then we have an MLS player. Looking, what I normally do is, if you're doing it on the console, page 4 needs to be very, very close to that 50-minute mark for me to be able to sell him. So for instance, there is 17 players on the market of this guy. If there's any more like that, like Chinese have a lot, Saudi have a lot, where there is just an abundance of 200. If you do not see an hour basically in the 4th page on the console, don't bother. On the mobile, it's one swipe all the way down. If it goes to the hour, then you can sell it. If not, don't bother, it's not going to sell, or you're going to spend far too long. You want to be efficient, you don't want to be too picky, because you're going to end up with things having to be relisted in your transfer market for absolutely ages. So we do one more and then we'll move on to the other method. Perfect. So we get another Libertadores player. He's going to go again for roughly 400. At the minute, they are like the hot property because they're brand new league SBC. Grimshaw, obviously a Man City player. All the good leagues are going to be quite a decent amount of profit. He has dropped in price at the minute because of the market in general. So we've made 400 off him, 400 off the other player. That's doubled it, plus the 60 coins. You always make profit. And if you hit a Paderborn, a Union Berlin, a Berezi, anything like that, which I'm going to show you right now, you can make absolute bank off. And that literally pays. So if I go Berezi, because I know I've got a couple of them already in the club, you can see we've got 3 players here. So I've actually had these a couple of times now. You've got, what, at least 6.5. These were going for 10k straight earlier. 6.5 there. That pays for roughly about, what, 13 to 14 packs. Then you've got another one. He's going for roughly 7-ish right now, or 6 there. You could probably get him at 7 on a lazy bid. So there's almost 18 packs. And then again, you've got another one. I think he's going for roughly about 5, which again, 11, 12 packs. You have got about 50 to 60 bronze packs in that. You then put that on the market, you've got a 10 pack minimum of being able to open them without nothing being in there. Plus, you obviously have fitness cards. At the minute on Xbox, if I go to my consumables, they are currently not selling for 1,000 coins, which I don't like. I will keep them until that market gives the 1,000 coins again. Then I've got practically 56k. At one point, they were going for 1.3k. At this moment in time, they're struggling. The market's very, very loaded with fitness cards. You want to make sure that you are keeping them at the minute and sell them off for a K. Personally, I wouldn't put them in kind of in your transfer market because it may take a while for them to sell. I'm going to keep them until they're 1,000 coins again, and then we blow our load on them again. When it comes to the only other thing realistically is the training cards. What you want to do with them is all training cards, the player ones, goalkeeper ones don't sell. Player ones you want to put up for 450 on the Xbox. Obviously, this is mainly Xbox kind of helping, but you can do obviously the same on PlayStation, but the prices may vary a little bit. All player training on bronze is 450 no matter what. I always put that and it always sells. And the only other thing is the pace. They go for 200. I just normally keep them and list them when I go to bed. They're an easy filler for your transfer market to make sure things are constantly selling. So that is number 1. And one of the better ways I find, there's very little risk with it. It does make a lot of coins. As you see, there's 1 pack and there's 1.5 packs straight off the bat. We obviously do have a lot in here as well. As you can see, we've been doing it quite a lot, but I'm kind of shifting now to maybe a League SBC method. This is really good when League SBCs are at an all-time high, because then you can just keep selling them. Literally keep selling them, and eventually you will make a absolute load. So at the minute, if I go to the leaderboards, I don't know how much I've made this week, but over the past 3 weeks, including this week, we have made, so we go here, so 121 there. We made 800k last week and 1.2 mil, with a couple of exceptions of gold players. We roughly made about 2.5 mil in 3 weeks of doing this. Granted, I have done it a lot. I've opened thousands of bronze packs in that time. I open roughly about 200 to 400 a day, just on the odd chance of just literally going around a house. I've got very good. Mobile is the best way for me. I personally don't like the Xbox doing them because it just takes the animation. You've got to then look. It's so much quicker when you get into a rhythm on the mobile. I would recommend that way 100% if you are running on a low coin balance. That is mainly the reason why I do it. It can start from 10k, you can start from 5k. You really just need to be able to open up, say, 10 bronze packs. That is all you need, and then it just keeps flowing. As you get more and more, I can literally just rip bronze packs and bronze packs constantly without actually even worrying about losing coins or losing the momentum. All I do is go to 100 on the transfer market and then keep relisting. Make sure you are checking the prices, but relist, keep going, and eventually everything will sell. Normally 20 to 40 items sell every hour, and I just keep doing that and keep focusing. The next method that we're going to go on to is trading. It's something that I personally have never got in FIFA. Personally, I haven't got the patience to wait. There is two types. There is daily flips, there is investments. There probably is a couple of things. I'm not going to go massive into detail because personally I'm not the best person to give you this advice. But some of the ways that I do it or have done it in the past is mainly sniping. That is the best one. It flips constantly. So for instance, say if I went to the BPL and I looked at, no, in fact, I'll go to Bundesliga because I know there's a couple of decent ones there. I go to Bundesliga, I go to Mainz, who have a very good left back in Spain. I believe it's Mainz that has Spain, or is it a centre back? No, so we've got him here. So what I do with him, this is just a very rough guess right now, is we look what his price is, and literally, is he 1.9? So we've got roughly 1.8. So realistically, 1.8, you need to look at the 5% tax. You're looking at what, 180, is it 180 coins? Then you divide that by 2, you're looking at 90 coins per one. So for instance, I'll go buy this one, it's already gone. So again, you'd get him for 1.5, you'd sell him for 1.7. Always checking the market because it never stays the same. But what I'd do is I'd look at the 1.8. So I'm thinking I need to save 90 coins. So I'll put it at 1.6. Just an example of a player, 1.5 again. We do that. We'll see if he sells by the end of this video. But we put him for 1.5. We make like what, 100 coins, if that. But you do that with bigger players, you do that with informs, you do that with everything going, and you consistently do that. You maybe put it to 1.5, you keep checking, sometimes you may get a 600 coin card. And again, it's literally just doing this. You want to make sure as well that you're not going too fast on this because obviously you will get banned otherwise, or a soft ban at least, and it will kick you off the market a little bit. So what I normally do is I kind of do it a little bit slower. I make sure I go down roughly 80 to 100k on this max price and just keep looking. Eventually you will find something, and it's just a way, if you want to find a channel who does this a lot, and we'll give you some players and give you some ideas, is Unique Riggers. An incredible channel who's been going for a very long time. I'll put his link in the description if you want to go check that out if you're interested in this way. Sometimes it takes a while and it does take a bit of patience. Personally, I like the informed version of this, so when a new inform comes out, the price is settled a little bit, you end up being able to do this quite efficiently with a lot of decent players and making a K, 2k, 3k every single time, and that actually is really good. Investment wise, in the long term is something I've done with the players at the minute. It's never guaranteed, so don't always expect that, but at the minute the market is absolutely rock bottom to the floor. So what I've done with that is I've gone with every single gold card I can get. Literally any SBC gold card I have in this club, including this 90 rated goalkeeper. Where has he gone? He is currently 34k. He may even be cheaper, or he may have actually gone up a little bit. I got him first time round for 33k. That card will go up when SBCs come out that require high rated. I do have a few other bit of fodder in the club that is just like there. A lot of these 86s going for 14, 15k. I just thought you've got to 11.5k for an 86. Roughly, normally they go for anywhere from 15 to 18. So I thought, you know what, we'll keep them in the club. We'll wait it out and see what we can get. As you can see, we've got a good amount of pages of informs and stuff like that. So we've got a lot of fodder in that club, special wise. Gold wise, we've got a lot. We've got a Modric for 43k. Again, it's far too cheap. He will go for over 50k at the very least when the market rebounds. He has got to. And as you can see, club stock, that's all it is I've club stocked absolutely everybody that we can get. Anyone who's at a cheap price as an 80, from a 91 all the way down to an 86, we have got in this club. 85s would have been the next step, but I'm thinking I spent about 1.5 to 2 mil on all of these cards, and we've got a lot of them very, very cheap. We've got a Mobley for 11k. He will easily drop to, he will easily rise to 18k, I believe. When a good SBC comes out, you can either use them for the SBC or you can do that. It's another way that I personally have used. Mainly I use it to make coins and also do SBCs, so I'll use half of the players and then sell the rest. Maybe if they're higher rated, I will go and do that. So it's just another way to do it. I was just waiting to see. Another bronze pack method right there, 1.5k. You've got a lot of coins on that. That's 3 packs at the very least. 4 to 5 packs if you include the discards as well. Very, very simple coins, and it's just so easy to do. It's one of my favorite methods this year, as League SBCs, which is the next method, is a bit of a grind. So jumping over, we've covered bronze packs. Trading is one that personally I would go to some other channels. I'll link a few in the description that are better to explain. I think daily flips are fantastic if you know the market like the back of your hand. But I think with trading, not necessarily that you need a lot of time. If you want to do really, really well, like the millions, then you need a bit of time. Or you need a very, very good understanding of the market, because you will lose and you will win. That is just the whole point of a trader. They have ups and downs. It's like anything. You're not always going to win. Even the top trader in the game has lost coins on a player this year. So you've got to be able to have the coins. And I think that's the one thing, is if you're not looking to make instant coins right now, then trading is a longer term goal, in my opinion, to make the mega bucks. But I think that way is probably the best way to make the coins, really. Realistically, every other way is a little bit slower. I know the bronze packs will never get you the amount that trading will in the time that it takes. League SBCs all require on packs. It's all dependent on your luck and what you can actually do. But that is the next method. It's a little bit more in detail this year, because it's not only that necessarily the packs in the club or in the player SBCs are not fantastic, but also the players are very limited at this moment in time. At the minute, the major leagues are the best, bar from the new ones that were released, because you have 88 rated players in there as well. That is something that is great to do League SBCs. You've got 3 88s in that one and 3 88s in that one. That is a fantastic amount of players that realistically 9 and 10 SBCs, they're both coming in at 130 to 150k. That's a fantastic amount of SBCs to get an 88 rated player. So realistically, if you think about it, you've got silver packs, you've got prime electrums, more silvers, some small electrums. Yes, you may not get the greatest amount of players back, but the silvers are fantastic, either club fillers or sell straight away. You realistically look at an 88, the price of an 88 at the moment is about 25 to 30k. On a good day, when the market is booming, you're looking at 30 to 35, maybe 40 for some of the higher rated league specific SBCs. You're looking at 30 to 40k realistically. So if you take that off the value, if you say put this at 150, which is a good price, I think it's in the middle. You've got to make 110k off this to be able to buy everybody from scratch and then do the SBC. But realistically, bronze packs can easily get you them too. Even that one with a little bit more of an effort. Uruguay players, it's a 65 rated overall. A couple of silvers, a few bronzes, very easy again. Then you get into more the silvers. I believe this one and this one are the harder ones. Argentina, maybe not, but obviously you've got to have the rare players. That shouldn't be relatively too hard. It'd be mainly these two that are looking that little bit more difficult, because A, you need them in the club, and obviously they are from silver packs. You can do the silver pack method, which I will show you right now, but that one is mainly for League SBCs for me. I don't feel like you've got the benefit of the bronze packs in the silver ones, because there's a little bit more risk involved. Obviously you need to be selling more at a time. So realistically, I would always go for the bronzes if you are wanting to make coins straight off the pack. Silver packs for me are a little bit more harder, but you can get rewarded. So for instance, we have one player here that's really worth the value. You can roughly get about 800 coins off him. Let me just see, was that 900? It's 35 minutes. I'd go for 800 for that. But then you do have these that can be League SBC players. Personally, I would whack them in the club if they are worth no value whatsoever. You can whack them up just to make that extra value. You discard them. I don't think silver contracts anymore will go for anything, and I don't think fitnesses will either at the minute. But you can keep them, or you can just discard them. Obviously, attribute cards are fantastic. They always sell. That one will go for at least 350. So at the minute, we've got 350. We've got 800 there. So that's just made, what, 1.1k-ish. Sometimes badges and kits can sell. You could easily put that for 200 and let it sell, or you could just keep it or discard it. Again, you could sell that for 200, but it all matters on your efficiency for your transfer market. So we've made about 1.1, and then you could probably sell that for 200. So that's 1.3. Plus you do have 2 cards that you could either sell for 300 each, which would make you 600. Nearly about 2k left. But I'm going to keep them just for League SBC purposes. And if we do another one, see if we get a League SBC player. Again, it's all about just the amount that you do. Realistically, you're not going to make big bucks off doing 10. You're going to have to do a lot of them. And I think silver packs, you're definitely going to have to really invest in this. So straight away, we get rid of all of these, for instance, because I know we've got a couple of League SBC players there. You've got a 200 kit coin there. I'm not personally going to sell that, but you could do for 200. You've got, again, a attribute that predominantly most sell, bar from goalkeeping ones. But you've made 200 value there. English silvers doesn't really sell. You could get him for 200 if you really wanted. You then have a Portuguese league player. I thought he may have been a little bit better, but you can get 350 off him. And then you have AC Milan, a good K. So you're making a little bit under there. But if you're doing League SBCs, that's fantastic. It's put value in your club again. It's got another AC Milan. You can go and think then straight off the bat, have I got enough AC Milan players? Which we're going to have a look at this one right now. It is a long method, the League SBC. It's very, very long this year because you need to do the bronze packs, silver packs, bronze upgrade, silver upgrade, then doing the SBCs and rinse and repeat. That's all you've got to do, but it does take a while. So AC Milan we have finished, unfortunately, but then you've just got to look around your teams. Predominantly, I'd be looking at league specific, maybe finish a league on its own. As you can see, I've kind of done a bit of everything, but Chinese is a great one to start with. If you have not started whatsoever, get them silver packs because silver packs are fantastic, either for value for duplicates or even just getting the big ones knocked out the park with a few silvers. This year, especially, League SBCs are not that difficult. Like, for instance, we look at BPL. We go to Arsenal. You need a 70 rated overall. You can put predominantly most of their bronze players in, and it really doesn't change no matter who team you go to. The most you can get is, what, 74 did I see from Man U? 78 from Spurs. I think Man City is a higher one as well, and 80 from Man City. They have so many high rated players. You just need bronzes, predominantly. Bronze, silvers, and a few golds, and you're absolutely golden. So the gold cards you've got can go into other SBCs, can do whatever you want. But like, for instance, we go to the Bronze Premier League. All of these, you can either sell for value, or you can just keep them in your club and do the League SBCs. That predominantly is the only 2 ways. And as you can see, there is a fair few pages, and I've been selling all my bronze players. These are just left over from when I did League SBCs until I kind of got a little bit bored with how long it takes. And that's the problem with League SBC. It, for me, is the most best way if you have time. Personally, for player reviews, it's not great because I'm always losing tax on players if I'm buying them straight away, and I need to make that quick coins. League SBCs is a grind. It's not anything to really go and get massive amount of coins straight away. But if you hit that prime moment, you hit that inform, you hit a walkout, you can get literally anything from it. So if you consistently do it, you'll be rewarded. We've seen Frog get Hullet this year. We've seen Net get icons. We've seen Nick get icons. There has been multiple amounts of people packing massive stuff, from small rare gold packs, from prime electrums. The list goes on with how much value that you can actually get from this. So for me, the League SBC is the best way if you're efficient. If you're efficient and you have time, it is the best way to do it. Bronze packs for me is the easiest, most less risk. You cannot physically lose unless you literally discard everything every time. You cannot lose coins on that method. It's just physically impossible. And then the trading is the highest reward you can get, but then it's the highest risk as well. So for me, it would go in the order of bronze packs is the most, well, it's kind of efficient because it's very easy. It's the most low risk that you can get. League SBC is the best reward for the low risk, and trading is the best, highest kind of value you get back, but the very highest risk if you are willing to really put in 2 mil on icons that you hope you can flip, or 100 million on whatever. I don't know if anyone's ever got 100 million without FIFA points. And then obviously FIFA points is the last method. It's the easiest way you will ever make coins in your life, but your bank balance will hate you every single time. But there's just 3 ways. I know it's a little bit of a longer video today, but I thought, you know what, we'll give it a go. I wanted to share you my ways of the way I make coins. Personally, I do bronze packs at the minute and sell them just for value of what I'm trying to get out of them. League SBC may be a way that I go. At the minute, I'm a bit unsure, because if I sell all my club, I'll make a hell of a lot of profit. But at this moment in time, I'm a bit unsure, so I'm kind of keeping them as a reserve in case I go back to League SBCs. But at the minute, bronze packs is the way to go for me. You make so many coins off it. As soon as you get a 10k player, you get a fitness card. They're all absolutely money earners. Any big nationality, big league, you normally get coins back, even though at the minute with the market, they are at an all-time low, but I can see them rebounding, and you can just keep doing it. Regardless if the market is at its absolutely lowest, you will still be able to do this method. Even in June and July, you will still be able to do this method. I did it last year, you can do it this year 100%. So let me know down below if I've missed any other ways. I feel like that's the only way on the menu anyway. In terms of gameplay, rivals, squad battles, foot champs, easiest ways to make coins whilst playing the game, but obviously this is just when you're just scrolling through the menus, you can't be bothered to play any more matches. It's just an easy way to do it. So let me know if I've missed any other way. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did this kind of different video. I'm trying to think of a different kind of series as well to run alongside reviews, just in case we don't get really anyone that I want to do or anyone out. Like for instance today, no team in a weeks. That's been delayed, and then the only thing that's available is a flashback Boateng that is coming in over 300k. He may have dropped by now, but for an 86 and 87 rated team, I just really can't justify doing this. And it's exactly why I really like loan cards, because it gives me that chance to let you know how he is, whilst also not spending my absolute amount of coins into an SBC that literally the player's just going to sit there. I'm not going to use him in my team, it's not going to happen, and apart from that, he's going to just lie dust in my club. But let me know down below, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next one.